Assalamualaikum and hello. In this video, we are going to focus the last subtopic of chapter 7, which is 7.3 intermolecular forces. By the end of this subtopic, you should know how to explain the polarity and the dipole moment in linear molecules, and also know how to describe the intermolecular forces, either dipole-dipole forces or London dispersion forces or hydrogen bonding, based on the molecules given in the question. So for this video, we are going to focus about bond polarity and dipole moment first. So let's get on with it. For your information, in covalent bonds, the sharing of electrons is not always equal. So that's why bila ada unequal electron sharing, that covalent bond is being classified as polar bonds. And what is polar bond? So polar bond is a bond between atoms with different electronegativities in which the number of electrons are distributed in not equal amount. Dan polar bond bergantung kepada perkataan ini, iaitu electronegativities. So as you know, the patterns for electronegativity in the periodic table bergantung kepada element. The most electronegative element is fluorine in the periodic table. So that's why the electronegativity akan keeps increasing to the right across the period ataupun keeps increasing up the group towards fluorine atom in the periodic table. Ini adalah general knowledge yang awak memang sudah tahu based on chapter 6 dan saya harap awak masih ingat lagi. Now kita go to bond polarity. Now we go for the bond polarity. So how you want to know that covalent bond in a molecule is polar or non-polar? Kita fokus kepada non-polar dahulu. A covalent bond is non-polar when the molecule made up of two atoms with the same elements ataupun dia mempunyai similar electronegativities. For example, saya ada chlorine molecule, the chemical formula adalah Cl2. Cl2 is a molecule made up from two Cl atoms bonded together, and as you see here, the electronegativity antara dua-dua atom ini sama. So ini adalah covalent bond dan this covalent bond is non-polar. Now we go to the covalent bond which is polar. So how it happen? Dia akan terjadi apabila the molecule made up of two atoms with different elements ataupun dengan lebih tepat lagi adalah different electronegativity. So as you see here, contohnya saya ada hydrogen dan fluorine. The formula is going to be H bonded to fluorine. So as you see here, the bond between H atom and fluorine atom adalah covalent bond. So this is what we call as covalent bond, dan due to the difference in electronegativity between hydrogen and fluorine atoms, so this covalent bond adalah polar bond. Dan seperti yang awak tahu, fluorine is the most electronegative element. That's why the electron density will be much more towards fluorine atom. So what will happen? Kita akan indicate the density of electrons menggunakan partially positive dan partially negative. So the symbol will be partially negative for the fluorine, just like this, and then for hydrogen is going to be partially positive. So when you want to show the dipole moment ataupun direction of electron density towards the fluorine, kita akan draw just like this one, di mana anak panah towards kepada fluorine dan kita ada cross like this. So from here, this molecule can be polar molecule ataupun non-polar molecule. Itulah yang kita akan tentukan selepas ini. So as you know, this is the symbol for the dipole moment. A new term for you in this case. So macam mana dipole moment akan wujud? Dia akan wujud apabila ada polar bond dalam molekul. So what is dipole moment? Dipole moment is a quantitative measure of polarity of a bond. So as I mentioned before, when there is a polar bond in a molecule, there will be a dipole moment, and you will indicate dipole moment as this symbol, anak panah and then cross. Dan as you see here, dipole moment sebenarnya adalah quantitative measure. So dia ada nilai. Tapi for your syllabus, you don't have to calculate. But at least you know what is the formula, where the formula will be mu. This is the symbol for dipole moment. How to write it down? You can write it like that. And then equals to Q for the charge times with R, distance between the charge. And this is the symbol on how you want to indicate the electron density between two different electronegativity of atoms, di mana the cross end bahagian ini adalah untuk partial positive. So this is partial positive, dan untuk bahagian anak panah arrowhead, dia akan jadi partial negative. So that's why bila saya draw electron density more towards kepada electronegative atom, so anak panah punya kepala akan berada ke arah fluorine, dan this one akan berada di bahagian hydrogen untuk cross end. The next one, by now you know how to determine the polar bond based on different electronegativities of two atoms. Sekarang you have to know that polar bonds can exist in polar molecules or non-polar molecules. And what will happen for polar molecules, that molecule has a shape with unequal distribution of similar atoms, dan dipole moment cannot cancel out each other. So that's why mu is not equals to 0. Tapi untuk non-polar molecules, molecules itu mesti dalam bentuk symmetrical distribution between all atoms, dan the dipole moment can cancel out each other. So bila boleh cancel, nilai dia akan jadi mu equals to 0. So ini adalah term yang penting untuk determine the bond polarity and dipole moment in molecules given based on molecular geometry. So kita akan relate the example from before what you've learned so far, how to draw the molecular shape, and from that shape you are going to determine the polarity. So I will stop my video until here. So you know the general knowledge about bond polarity and also dipole moment by right now. For the next video, kita akan attempt a few examples how to predict the polarity of any molecules given. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!